Good. So what are you planning on next? Do you have anything in the works?
Well, I'm definitely thinking about going back to school. I had to wait to get my in-state, all that
Hmm.
stuff figured out because if I go to UCLA out of state, it's so expensive. So I went from like being at, in Nevada where school is basically paid for to California where school is way overpriced.
Right.
Just like everything else in
You know
California.
that California used to be free college. My mom
I
went to college
know.
for free at
Isn't
Antelope
that
Valley College. Um,
That's it's crazy.
Things
But
have
now not
changed.
anymore. Because didn't they used to have that scholarship program a long time, like a few years, like maybe 30 years ago, where if you got good grades or something, you could go for free, right?
My mother went completely for free. We lived in Green Valley, California when I was a little girl, and it was up in the mountains, and I had horses and everything.
Oh.
But my mom went to school to be nursing stuff, and she went for free.
Oh,
So
wow.
completely for free. So, but that was
So,
a different world.
yeah.
I'm old now,
That's
so
great. Yeah. That's so funny.
going to school, planning a wedding. How's the wedding
Yes.
plan coming along?
Oh my gosh. Well, see, and that's another thing about getting reacclimated to society because not only am I coming off of the show and I have to like get an apartment, like do all this other stuff. I was filming Bold and the Beautiful. I just went to North Carolina, and on top of all of it, I'm planning this wedding. So it's crazy. Like, talk about being busy, girl. It's like super busy. I mean, I'm up like 5 o'clock every morning. Brendan and I get up.
That's
and we,
when I'm
like,
going to bed.
yeah, I wish I used to live like that.
So
Aw.
when's your wedding? Do you have a date?
We haven't set a date yet, but we're working, the trip we won for Aruba.
Mhm.
Well, they wanted to, first they were like, let's do the wedding. And I was like, oh my God, that would be amazing. But now they're like, let's do the bachelorette party. So I'm like, hey, that's just as amazing.
Oh wait, now wait. Who's we or they?
The resort in Aruba, the Marriott,
Mm-hmm.
that we won the trip on, we're looking into doing my bachelorette party there.
Oh, cool.
So, yeah, so I'm like, hey, that'll be amazing.
Yeah.
And all my friends are so excited.
And
So-
now are you going to have Super Pass video the bachelorette party?
Well, I don't know if they'll be covering the bachelorette party, but I'm definitely working on with Chelsea to do the wedding. So I think that would be really fun too.
That would. We did the trashy wedding, so we can do the real wedding.
Exactly.
Okay, speaking of weddings, what do you think of Kim Kardashian?
What was she doing? I don't even get it. Like,
She
how?
spent more time planning the wedding than she spent in the actual marriage.
Seriously. Like, literally. I don't understand. And I would think, like, you have to realize that you're marrying someone, he's what, like 25 or something, right? He's younger, isn't he?
I don't know his age.
Yeah. So anyways, well, he's younger, but obviously he's going to want to have kids. Well, when you have kids, like, I get it. It's like, it would be nice for them to be able to raise the Kardashian kids in California, but his family is in Minnesota. Of course he's going to want her to go to Minnesota. And of course she's going to want to stay in California. So it's like, I think that they just didn't talk about anything important before the wedding. I mean, these are
Exactly.
like important issues.
I mean, as much as you love the idea of your wedding,
Yeah.
you have to love the idea of a lifetime afterwards with that person. And
Exactly.
You know-
like, you're not just planning a love story, and it's not just a romance all the time. Like, there are going to be times when you hate each other.
yeah,
Like,
when you're picking up their dirty socks off the floor for the 1500th time,
Oh.
you got to love the person.
Exactly. I mean, Brendan and I, like, now we've lived together for almost 2 years. Well, no, like, almost a year. Because we're counting Big Brother time.
Right,
So it
right.
feels like a whole million years. But we've lived together for a long time. And now we're at the point where it's not like all butterflies and fairy dust every time that we're at the house together. So it's like, we fight over Xbox. We fight over stupid things. But, that's like life. That's what you do when you're like in a marriage and living with someone and committing your life to someone. It's not going to be all like romance every single night. And
Right.
I guess, I don't know if she just didn't think about that or if she just wanted to get married. I mean, I want to be like, girl, you just spent $10 million. Like, take that money and give it to me for my wedding. Like,
I tell you what, I got married a long time ago. I also got divorced. I was married for 12 years. But had I had it, I had a great wedding. I really did, and it was one of those things where I grew up poor. I didn't have a lot. That wedding meant a great deal to me. Once I started having kids, I would have given anything for a fraction of that money back to raise the kids with. So,
Right.
it's, weddings are great, but they last one day, and then there's the rest of your life. So,
Right. Well,
let's.
that's totally what I've heard. Yeah.
I want to talk about something real quick. Lots of people were concerned. Now, you and Brendan are fine, and you don't
Yeah.
have to defend yourselves in any way, shape, or form, but there were a lot of people a little concerned at the beginning of this season with the way Brendan talked to you. And they have asked me to ask you, and you can say, hey, screw it, we're fine. Or you
Yeah.
can say, he was, what do you think about, they're concerned for you. And it's kind of nice to have people concerned for you, but
Yeah.
what do you have to say about that?
No, I appreciate it that people are concerned because I've heard it,
Mhm.
being on Big Brother, like it's all over the chat rooms and stuff. But I don't think that Big Brother reflects the way that Brendan and I's relationship really is. I think that we are really comfortable with each other, and so when he talks to me like that, I don't know what they're talking about exactly, but when we get in arguments, like we're really comfortable with each other, so he's gonna say what he feels. And then another thing, like I feel like when you're under that stress, that pressure cooker, like we don't really all act the way that we would want to. I mean, look at me last year. Like, Floaters Grab a Life Fest, I was up in people's face, like, yelling at them constantly. And that's not how I am. So I think that, like, when you're in that Big Brother pressure cooker, that people don't realize that, it's just all that extra, like, energy and all that extra, like, craziness. Brendan, I don't think he talks to me bad at all. Like, personally, from what I've saw of the tapes or whatever that people are talking about, I wouldn't necessarily say that everything that he's done is okay, but I think that, it's the big environment, and I don't want to sit here and defend ourselves as a good, like, perfect couple or anything
Right.
like that, and I also don't want to defend ourselves because I know a lot of people don't agree with that. So I think everyone's opinion is different. I don't think Brendan's ever done anything wrong to me, and I don't feel uncomfortable with the way that he talks to me. And we're in that pressure cooker, and he was getting upset with me about, different situations in the Big Brother game. But I think we're fine.
One of my favorite moments of you is you outside on the patio talking to Shelly when you laid the game out to her, and I think that's the day you earned
In the
her
end
vote.
of the summer.
Yeah. I really
Yeah.
do believe that that's the day you earned her vote, because when she went to the jury house, she quoted you. And that's when I knew I said on my Diana's Diary Room that I was pretty sure Shelley was going to vote for you at that point, because she wouldn't, Shelley had nothing good to say about you all summer, and then
Yeah.
she's quoting you. And I think you opened her eyes that day. What was going through do you remember that conversation?
I think so, briefly. I remember Shelly and I discussing how she was playing the game, and I remember approaching her and saying, like, I'll talk to Jordan for you, and this is, what I'm seeing, and we have to be strategic. And I think I was just basically telling her that I saw how she was playing the game, and I knew her game since, like, week 2, and I thought she was doing a great job at it. Is that the conversation?
Yeah, you basically laid it was, Rachel, it was one of your better moments ever, because you very strategically laid out everything to her. And Shelley's face was like, she was kind of shocked, because I think she had a vision of you of being an airhead that didn't think, and here you were telling her entire game from the beginning to the end, and she was shocked by that. And I think, my personal opinion, that's the moment that turned the game in your favor as far as winning it. So,
Well,
but you don't remember that. Not much of it, huh? How much of the show have you watched?
I haven't. I watched the finale, and then I watched. No, I think basically just the finale.
That's it.
I haven't really had a chance to watch a lot of it yet. So, but I'm going to. I mean, I'm eventually, probably over the holidays, I'll watch it.
Do you ever go on to watch clips of the live feeds or things that, do you have a burning curiosity about any moments during the show? Like, I gotta know what really happened there.
No.
No, it's all water
Not
under the
really.
bridge for you, huh?
Yeah, I think, to be honest, like, at this point, like, I won the game this summer, and I don't know, like, I was definitely confused about Jeff and Jordan's motives in a lot of the game. Well, mostly Jeff, because I was definitely concerned with, like, I was curious and concerned with the whole backdooring, or not backdooring, but throwing that veto that got Brendan out, and not voting for Brendan.
Do you know that week, though, they tried to vote Shelley out?
Right.
Okay.
Oh, they did?
Yeah, Jeff wanted to vote out Shelley and keep Brendan, but Adam and Portia wouldn't do it.
Right.
And Portia wasn't going to do it no matter what, and Adam kept saying, no, it's for my game, and so they tried to get Adam and Portia to flip so that they could keep Brendan, but they weren't giving in. So
yeah. See, and so I'm so confused about that. Because, I mean, even after the show, Jeff, like, admitted to me that he threw the veto.
Yeah, he did.
So, yeah. So I was like, I don't know. I didn't understand that, and I don't know, like what Jeff was thinking, because, like, we were all working together, and I think that if Jeff would have kept Brendan, that in the double eviction, it would have either been me and Brendan, or Jeff and Brendan, but Brendan would have gone home. And I think that was the major turning point for Jeff's game, because that made Jeff, once Brendan was gone, Jeff was the #1 target. Like,
right.
100%. I mean, Danielle made sure of that Jeff was the #1 target.
Okay, next question. Last year, you were mortal enemies with Reagan during the show, and then you became friends. What happens to make people who are mortal enemies friends after the show's over?
I wouldn't say we were mortal enemies anyways. I know what you're saying, because I agree. Like, we got in huge fights, and on the show, yeah, we were, like, definitely, like, did not like each other. But after the show, like, I wrote Reagan a note, and I called him a few times and asked if we could talk about things and just kind of put it behind us. And I didn't even expect us to be friends, honestly. I thought Reagan and I would maybe go to lunch and just kind of patch things up and get over it so that we could just kind of move on with our lives. Mm-hmm. But, we talked, and we had a great talk, and Reagan's such a great guy, and when you're in that house, like, every emotion, and you don't think, and every emotion goes up tenfold. So, I mean, you can dislike someone, and, like, it's this passionate, like, hatred toward them all of a sudden. So, it's just kind of the nature of the beast, the nature of the show, But Reagan and I went out to lunch, and we had a lot of fun. And ever since then, Reagan and I had just gotten to hang out and spend time together in California. And he's been there for me when I needed a friend to talk to and everything. So he's a really great person, and I'm really glad. And
okay.
Danielle and I,
that's what I was going to ask, Danielle.
Yeah. Danielle and I have talked. I sent her, like, an email, a few notes, and we sometimes text message each other. I like Danielle a lot. I didn't like her in the Big Brother game, but I like her a lot, like, as a person. And before the game, we were friends. So there's no reason for us not to be friends outside the game.
Mm-hmm. It's a game, and it's over.
Exactly.
Do you take any of the things that were said during the game, and there were a lot of very mean things said, do you take any of those personally to the point where you may not be able to recover from that, as far as having a friendship?
Yeah, I mean, I try not to, but there are certain things, like, that's just crossing the line. Like, it's one thing to say that I'm disgusting and that I'm a horrible person and, you hate me, but, that's fine, whatever. Hate my guts all you want in the show, but don't talk about trying to, abort my baby, or trying to, say mean things like throwing a medicine ball at my stomach so that my child dies. Like, that's just going above and beyond. So, yes, to me, I don't think that I necessarily have any desire to be friends with a person that thinks that way, because I don't care how much, like, how mad you get at someone in a game. Like, it's a game, and you can call them a bitch, you can call them a whore, like, say whatever you want about, someone. Like, you're going to say it in Big Brother.
Right.
But then there's a point, like a line that I can't even think about that kind of stuff.